peacefully in Nashville, surrounded by loved ones. The cause of death, unclear. But ABC's Alex Stone reports that Dolly had been battling health issues for months leading up to her death.
We know that she said that she had been neglecting her health since the loss of her husband, and while she had been caring for her husband for quite a while he was sick, he died last year. And that last year when she had performances scheduled in Las Vegas and then a residency, that she canceled those, initially saying it was going to be a couple of Vegas performances and then the residency could not go forward. But she didn't share a lot about it. She had been quiet in recent months.
Dolly Parton was 80 years old on the talk show circuit where she was so famous. She said often, "It costs a lot of money to look this cheap." She joked that line would end up on her tombstone. KSL News Time 3:04. 2 people have died in Pennsylvania after contracting measles. Governor Josh Shapiro says this is the worst outbreak they've had in more than 30 years.
Both of the individuals were from Lancaster County, and both were unvaccinated. We hope and we pray that those deaths will be the last.
There are nearly 400 confirmed measles cases in Pennsylvania. Here in Utah, the number of cases is finally decreasing. 518 people have been diagnosed with measles this year. Just 2 new cases in the last 3 weeks. There have been no measles deaths reported since the outbreak began, but health officials are urging Utahns get vaccinated. KSL News Time 3:05. You may have heard Alex and Ethan talking about this. Utah Highway Patrol says that they're considering a crackdown against people who drive too slow in the left lane. They're called left lane loafers. And KSL News Radio's Adam Small has the story.
It turns out Utah law actually forbids drivers from staying in the left lane when someone wants to pass them, even if you're driving the speed limit. Utah Highway Patrol Colonel Greg Hawley says that's because it makes freeway congestion worse, and he says it can also lead other drivers who want to go faster to make unsafe lane changes to get around them. Hawley told state lawmakers left lane loafers, as they're sometimes called, are not as high on their priority list as someone who's speeding or doing something dangerous, but he says they do pull people over for it hundreds of times a year, in fact.
Holly says they could end up doing more blitzes targeting these left lane loafers in order to increase awareness of the law. KSL News Time 3:05. We have first look traffic. Here's Ricky Meese.
We do begin our afternoon drive with a crash in Utah County northbound I-15 prior to Pleasant Grove Boulevard. It's been moved out of traffic, but certainly caused some backups into Linden. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
So, Ricky, I'm driving into work a little while ago, and as I'm coming down Beck Street, I see Dolly Parton on a billboard staring down at me, and it was like chills. And the billboard, the message is the quintessential Dolly message, short and sweet. Find the good in everybody, kindness, pass it on. Is
well
that her?
Said. Totally her. And that's very good advice. Yeah.
Thanks a lot, Ricky. My Minute of News is on the way next. Stay here.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and if you have a drain that's clogged or backed up, after you've tried the plungers and products, the next step usually involves some kind of drain snake or cabling equipment. You see, sometimes the blockage is far enough down the line that you need special equipment that most homeowners just don't have. That's where the Drains Department at Any Hour Services can help. A drain snake can clear most blockages and get the water flowing again, and clearing blocked drains is what our Drains Department does day in and day out. So if you're a homeowner with a drain line that's clogged or backed up and you'd like one of our drain technicians to come and snake the line for you, it's only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. It's a playbook that's been used over and over again ever since they invented the first computer. Young tech leaders spin yarns and tell tales saying their technology is going to change the world. And sometimes it does. The first PC, the internet, now AI. Yeah, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon, now Sam Altman at ChatGPT. They hype their product, their stock soars, they get rich. But never mention their products can also change the world for the worse. And when that happens, they change their clothes. I'm serious. They hire a PR team to buff up their image, and the first suggestion is to change their look. The Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg, tossed his hoodies and put on a suit. And before he appeared before Congress, his PR team was blow-drying his armpits with a handheld thing, so the world wouldn't see him sweat.
We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake.
When he said that, his armpits were toasty. And now we learn Bill Gates, the Microsoft founder, now discredited for his association with a certain dead pedophile, Bill Gates tried to change the narrative, I kid you not, by dressing like Mr. Rogers. The New York Post reports his PR team dressed up a mannequin over and over again to find the perfect look that said calm and approachable. And they landed on a neutral V-neck sweater over a white-collar T-shirt. His hair, do a side-by-side. It's styled exactly the same as the beloved children's host. And we're apparently suckers because his approval rating rose. Netflix even did a documentary about his philanthropy, but then came his ugly divorce and the revelations. In the words of Mr. Rogers, can you say Epstein? Sure, I knew you could. So I asked Bill Gates, even with his calm, approachable outfits, would you want him living in your neighborhood?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Beautiful day. A little bit warm, sure, but we have your traffic and weather together. We'll find out what's ahead. We're brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
And we are going to begin in Weber County, where road crews are still on the scene, actively patching a sinkhole. All lanes are blocked with this road closure. Eastbound Hinckley Drive at 1900 West in the Roy and Ogden area. And hopefully they are going to be having that opening up any moment now. We'll keep you posted. If you're traveling southbound I-15 in Weber County, it's getting a little busy and sometimes a little slow going through Riverdale and Roy. But northbound I-15, all clear from the north interchange to Willard Bay. I-15 in Salt Lake County, it's a different story. We do have traffic filling in and slowing down going southbound between 4500 South Murray through Midvale. Northbound I-15 getting busy approaching the Bangerter Highway exit in Draper. And then a little bit more busy traffic and a slightly reduced speed northbound I-15 2100 South to the 6 South downtown exit. Over to the east, all clear on I-215 and I-80. Eric?
We got a crash northbound I-15 in Linden. This is over on the right shoulder, a little bit before you get to the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit. So you got slowing starting before 1600 North if you're on the northbound side, but southbound, no problems right now going from Point of the Mountain all the way down to Provo and beyond. You got early slowing on that transition ramp near the airport from eastbound I-80 to go south on 215. That's through that construction area. That's to be expected. But right now, once you get into the main flow there, you're not going to have any problems going by California. That's probably going to change later. Since 1913, UMB Bank has stood beside businesses, understanding what's at stake. Banking is a relationship built to last. Visit UMB.com. Bank deposit products provided by UMB Bank N.A., member FDIC. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Pretty nice day on tap for your Tuesday. 94 is the high, partly cloudy. Just a very slight chance, maybe a 20% chance for a pop-up. A lot of the thunderstorm activity stays in the mountains. Mountain storms tomorrow with a high of 95, maybe a slight chance in the valleys. Most locations dry. 96 on Thursday, mostly sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
We're at 93 in Salt Lake City. Coming up, music in a minute, and there's really only one story in the music world today. The loss of Dolly Parton. John Smith remembers. Coming up, stay with us. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
lot of different companies that promise results, but there's very few that you can see the results. Soda Diet and Nutrition is one of those that you will see the results and you just can't deny it.
I mean, you can lose 15 to 20 pounds in a month.
In
4 weeks.
And this is why it's so awesome that Soda has extended their 4 weeks free offer until the end of August. So you can have that. You can get ready for holiday season. You will look great going into holiday season.
I lost 37 pounds in a little more than 3 months, and I've kept it off for 4 years. So do you want long-term success and long-term feeling great? Think of Soda.
Yeah, and I lost 70 pounds in 5 months. It can be done, and it feels great. You have more energy, your clothes fit you better, and you just feel confident about a lot of things.
And if you don't want to take our word for it, go look on Google. There are over 10,000 fantastic Google reviews of Soda.
Just call 866-800-SOTA to speak with a degreed nutritionist or go to sotadietnutrition.com because Soda is, say it with me, Amanda,
state of the art.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
KSL News Time 3:15. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
the biological son of former death row inmate Douglas Carter is speaking out about how slow the wheels of justice are moving ahead of Carter's new bond hearing tomorrow. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, the new Timpanogos School District is just getting started, and it's already planning to close a junior high and a handful of elementary schools. They'll discuss which ones in a meeting tomorrow night. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
The crash that we had northbound I-15 in Utah County going from Linden to Pleasant Grove, really no longer a factor, although we do have some residual heavy traffic in the area from that crash when it first occurred. But our typical delays are starting to set in, especially eastbound I-80 from Bangor to the West Belt. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Mid-90s today and a mountain storm possible. I'm Matt Johnson.
We're at 93 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Tributes are coming in following the death of Dolly Parton today. The country music legend was known for her lilting voice and soulful writing, including hits Jolene and also I Will Always Love You. Parton turned to acting and starring in 9 to 5 and expanded her empire to support charities. In 2023, ABC's Lindsay Davis sat down and asked her about how she'd like to be remembered.
You ever think about what you'd want your legacy to be?
There's a lot of wonderful things that's happened to me. I think one of the things I'm proudest of is the Imagination Library. But of course, I'm a writer and a singer, and I'm in both Songwriter Hall of Fame, you know, the big one, the country music, and the other one up there with the big guys. I'm just trying to leave as much stuff. I just want to see how much I can do in a lifetime. And I've been blessed, and I've been lucky, and I don't take any of that for granted, but I just wanted to be remembered well.
Dolly Parton was 80. The U.S. and Canada digging in on tariffs. Canada says it will match tariffs on U.S. goods starting September 8th. And in response to the U.S., 50% tariffs on Canadian imports in effect. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze on what it could cost Americans.
We just got a new estimate from the Yale Budget Lab. They say that in total, all of the tariffs, including the 50% tariffs on Canadian imports that the U.S. put in place, will cost the typical American household $1,100 per year. That is a notable number when you're thinking about the fact that households are already paying higher costs because of persistently high inflation on other goods and services.
Pennsylvania's health department says 2 people have died from measles, the first measles death in the state in 35 years. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro.
Both of the individuals were from Lancaster County, and both were unvaccinated. We hope and we pray that those deaths will be the last.
CDC shows a record number of measles cases nationally for a second straight year. You're listening to ABC News.
KSL News Time 3:18 more now.
I'm John Smith from 103.5 The Arrow, and this is Music News in a Minute. Dolly Parton, one of the most beloved and influential figures in country music history, has died today at the age of 80. Dolly's family said she died peacefully today in Nashville. The cause of death has not been released. 7 decades, thousands of shows, and some of the most enduring songs in American music, including Jolene, 9 to 5, I Will Always Love You, 9 to 5. What? I like that song, so I said it twice. More than 100 million records sold and 11 Grammys. But Dolly was much more than a country singer. She became an actress, a businesswoman, founder of Dollywood, and a philanthropist whose imagination library has put millions of books into the hands of children. And despite all that, I personally think the greatest thing about Dolly Parton was that she never seemed to lose sight of where she came from. A songwriter from Tennessee who's now been singing songs for generations. And if I may quote the now late Dolly Parton, what a way to make a living. That is your Music in a Minute here on KSL News Radio. I'm John Smith reporting.
KSL News Time 3:19. Onward to traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
We do have slowdowns setting in for the southbound drive of I-15 in Salt Lake County. You will see traffic getting crowded and slow as you're approaching 45th South in Murray. Down to Midvale, where right about 7200 South, we have a new accident. They're getting that moved out of traffic. Once you're past Midvale on the way to Sandy, you're good to go all the way to the Utah County line. Northbound I-15 picking up the pace, especially if you're trying to exit the freeway at Bangerter Highway in Draper. And then more traffic filling in and slowing just a bit northbound I-15, 33rd South to 6th South downtown. Looking good on your east side freeways of I-215 and I-80 up to the north. No real problem on I-15 in Davis County, but we do have traffic building and slowing down westbound, especially on SR 193 going from the base over to I-15. Southbound Highway 89 crowded and slow. It starts after Walmart down to the I-84 junction, and southbound I-15. Traffic is building. It's starting to get heavy and slow in spots, and that's scattered from 31st Street in Ogden through Roy. Eric?
Looks like our crash northbound I-15 in Utah County approaching Pleasant Grove Boulevard has been cleared. Right now, you've still got some residual slowing, starting at about 1600 north in Orem, heading up to Pleasant Grove. If you're westbound off of I-80, 2100 north, you can expect that to be slow as you go from the freeway over to Triumph Boulevard. And you've got early westbound slowing over on 201 Highway. We've got that construction going on at 8000 West, where they reduced 2 lanes down to 1. And so you've got slowing even before 7200 West for westbounders heading in that direction. Two Brothers Mattress. Prices don't get lower than the CERTA Labor Day sale in all 5 locally owned stores. Visit twobrothersmattress.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. You got partly cloudy skies today with a mountain storm possible. High of 94 in the valley. 95 tomorrow. We've got a 30% chance, mainly mountaintops, but valleys might see a stray shower. Into Thursday, 96, mostly sunny. We'll go partly cloudy, 95 on Friday, but Saturday, 88, slight chance for storms as a cool front gets close to Utah. 85, mostly cloudy on Sunday. Monday, you've got 87, partly cloudy. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
I didn't hear triple digits once in that forecast. I like that. 91 degrees in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. Wall Street is nervous about one stock. The story's coming right up.
Jeff Kaplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
Something difficult to discuss. Are you going through a difficult financial time? You have equity in your home, but nobody can help? American Home Loans has created the Bridge Loan Program to use your equity regardless of your credit at this time. The Bridge Loan can be used to pay debts, collections, IRS liens, divorce settlements, or home improvements. Call at 801-262-2221. That's 262-2221. This loan creates a bridge between now and a much brighter future. After COVID, one of their clients had over $85,000 in credit cards. Their scores were too low to borrow on their home. American Home Loans was able to save them $2,000 a month. And after 8 months, they qualified for a conventional loan and lowered their payments. The consultation is free and confidential. Please call them and see what they can do for you. The number is 801-262-2221. It's 262-2221, or go to AmericanHomeLoans.com. AmericanHomeLoans.com. NMLS 245422, Equal Housing Lender.
Guns. Rocky Mountain Gun Shows.
Don't miss the Rocky Mountain Gun Show, Saturday and Sunday, August 29th and 30th at the Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy. Stock up on wholesale ammo with no limit on quantity. Get 500 rounds of 9mm ammo for just $95. Shop our massive selection of firearms, mags, knives, and outdoor equipment. It's the Rocky Mountain Gun Show, so you know it'll be good.
Rocky Mountain Gun Shows.
After this hot summer, it's nice to begin to feel the change in the season. Some of the mornings now are cooling off. Pretty soon, we're going to have some spectacular colors up in Utah's mountains. It's time for you to get into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Hopefully, you've got all the kids taken care of back to school. It's time for a treat. Make that reservation for you and that special person to dine at one of the 2 Ruth's Chris Steakhouses. There's one, of course, up in Park City, and boy, when the colors change, it is sitting right in the middle of it all. And then, of course, there's downtown Salt Lake City at 275 South on West Temple. Make those reservations and anticipate that perfect meal, the perfect steak, seafood, poultry, whatever it might be, with all of those delicious side dishes and the desserts. And everybody at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse does the work for you. Make your reservations at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
We're watching Utah's money. Wall Street wasn't going to move much either direction while we wait for NVIDIA's earnings tomorrow. NVIDIA itself finally snapped a 7-day losing streak today ahead of that earnings announcement in the morning. The chip maker is head-to-head with Apple as the biggest company in the world, and its quarterly report is likely to have a strong ripple effect across the economy. Gas prices jumped about 7 cents overnight here in Utah. You're now going to be paying just under $4.40 a gallon. It's about 30 cents higher than the national average, which is actually holding steady. Dick's Sporting Goods says the footwear market isn't doing so hot. The sports retailer posted quarterly numbers today with particularly bad numbers for their Foot Locker locations. They fell short of Wall Street expectations. The stock, Dick's, tanked 30%, hitting its lowest level this year. And by the numbers on Wall Street, the Dow gaining 160 points. It closed at 53,577. The S&P managed to ratchet a 24-point gain, and the NASDAQ was up 171. KSL News Time, 3:26. There's new research on pro football players and brain injuries.
This analysis of more than 300 NFL players who donated their brains to science finds 93.2% had evidence of CTE. The British Medical Journal study extrapolates that to probably 1 in 4 of all former NFL players who died between 2016 and 2021. Among brain donors, 90.4% of those with the most severe CTE had dementia. Often that wasn't captured on death certificates, suggesting the problem is way worse than thought. Asked for comment by ESPN, the NFL said it's continuously working on strategies to reduce concussions and head impacts. Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Bad driving habits are hard to break, but good driving habits are easy to form, especially when they can lead to a discount on your auto insurance. With Farm Bureau Financial Services, the safer you drive, the more you save. Drivers like you are saving an average of $351 per vehicle. So buckle up, learn more, and find an agent at fbfs.com/save. Individual savings results may vary. Farm Bureau Property and Casualty Insurance Company, Western Agricultural Insurance Company.
Friday, join KSL News Radio and NPS from 10 to 1 as the movie show stops by. Then browse and uncover what makes NPS so great. With 4 locations, NPS takes in new inventory every day. Then they check all competitors' retail pricing before marking items down 20 to 70% off. So you're invited to visit the movie show Friday 10 to 1. And that's the first step to discovering NPS. Visit npsstore.com to begin your own NPS adventure. npsstore.com.
This is Colin
Colin Keary from the New Millennium Group. Have you ever had a question for your financial advisor only to find out that the next available appointment is months away? At New Millennium Group, we believe that financial advice should never be limited to once-a-year review meetings. Life happens every single day. Markets change, retirement questions come up, family situations evolve, and when they do, you deserve answers. That's why we pride ourselves at the New Millennium Group on being accessible when our clients need us most. Whether you're wondering about your investments or a major life decision, our team is here to help provide guidance. We're not interested in being the firm you hear from once a year. We want to be your trusted resource throughout your entire retirement journey. If you're looking for a financial team that values relationships, communication, and responsiveness, we'd love to meet you. Give us a call today at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or visit us at utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Auto loan rates as low as 4.74% APR. Here's Ricky Meese.
Expect the typical delays on the southbound drive of I-15 in Salt Lake County as you start after 33rd South down to 7200 South. Good speeds after that all the way to the point of the mountain. Northbound I-15, that's getting bogged down in Draper at the Bangerter Highway exit, but most of the heavy and slow traffic that continues to build is northbound I-15 between 4500 South and the 6 South exit. Another patch of busy and slow traffic northbound I-15 at the North Interchange. Eric?
Well, apparently we've got a new crash northbound I-15 just past 1600 North in Orem, but this like the last one over on the right shoulder. Looking for a new ride? Doug Smith offers great savings on new and used vehicles. Big selection, great prices, and great people. Visit us in American Fork, Spanish Fork, Linden, or at heydoug.net. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Forecasting a high of 94 today, partly cloudy skies, and just a slight chance for a PM shower. I think most of it stays in the mountains. Similar setup tomorrow with a high of 95, and then we'll go mostly sunny skies, 96 by Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
These billowing clouds have cut the temperature by a couple of degrees. In Ogden, 91. Provo at 95 degrees down in St. George. They have sunshine and 101.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 3:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. We're at 91 in Salt Lake City. KSL's top story. The brand new Timpanogos School District is already considering closing several schools, and we've just learned which ones are on the chopping block. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson joining us live with the story. Heather?
Jeff, the school district is looking to close 3 to 5 elementary schools and 1 junior high. But today, they've just named the 10 elementaries and 3 junior highs being considered, including Aspen, Bonneville, and Parkside Elementary. District officials say that's because they want everyone from these potential schools to be able to weigh in before any final decisions are made. District Communication Director Tyler Vigue says these proposed closures come before the Timpanogos School District even becomes official next year as one of the 3 new school districts that came out of the Alpine split.
What happened at that time was the Alpine School Board, who had already considered some schools in this area for possible closure, decided, you know what, probably better to wait. Let the new school district, now the Timpanogos School District, make some of those decisions about what's right and best.
We'll have the full list of schools being considered for closure posted at KSL.com. Reporting live, Heather Peterson, KSL News Radio.
The first rule of Fight Club? Well, it turns out the first rule of Flight Club is illegal. Davis School District failed to talk about Fight Club before banning the book, and that's trouble. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
Davis School District leaders didn't take any time to talk over their reasons for banning Chuck Palahniuk's Fight Club, instead putting the item down on their consent agenda. Utah's Assistant Attorney General Laura Cooper says that's only for routine, non-controversial topics. The decision would have flown under the radar, except a parent noticed the problem and filed an appeal. A state committee has now told the district to put it back on their agenda and actually discuss the book in a public meeting, stating the reasons for banning it. The decision will now go to the state's full school board.
The appeal also said the district didn't have any legitimate reasons to ban the book, Fight Club, according to their own rules about sensitive subjects. We're learning more about a $100 million nuclear training campus proposed for Brigham City. Learning more, including what it is, what it would look like, and who could ultimately pay for it. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera is joining us live with the story. Eric?
Jeff, there won't be any working nuclear reactors and no nuclear material there. High-Tech Solutions Senior Vice President Kurt Marlowe says the proposed campus would instead train workers for jobs in the nuclear industry.
This would just be the training facility, kind of what we would call mock-up facilities. Yeah, there's no functioning reactors, no nuclear material at the site.
There is a separate proposal to eventually bring small nuclear reactors to the Brigham City area. The first phase of the campus could cost up to $100 million. Marlowe tells me exactly who pays and how much is still being worked out among government, university, and private sector partners. And when I asked about concerns some listeners may have over nuclear energy, Marlowe pointed to its safety track record, saying people working in the industry have some of the safest jobs in the country. Live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Thanks, Eric. KSL News Time, 3:33. Our top national story, Canada strikes back, announcing huge new tariffs against the U.S. Tariffs that a Yale study says are going to cost the typical American household $1,100 per year. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has more.
What the U.S. has imposed here, $20 billion, accounts for about 5% of the imports, 5% of the stuff that we buy from Canada total. But of course, now you've got this new threat of Canada, another $20 billion, that dollar for dollar. And then the risk becomes, how much more does this escalate? When you hear that rhetoric, this is an incredibly closely entwined relationship. There is the potential for this to escalate further and even dent that number more when you think about the cost for people at home.
Yeah, so the White House leveled tariffs on $20 billion worth of Canadian stuff. Now Canada is saying, right back at you. The Trump administration is now threatening to tear down the Kennedy Center. In a new filing by the Department of Justice, the administration suggests that if the proposed renovations, which include putting President Trump's name on the building, are not allowed, the center would have to be demolished. Almost half of Utah voters are worried about the economy and the job market. It's according to new data from the Deseret News and Hinckley Institute of Politics. Deseret News editor Sarah Jane Weaver says that those two items and inflation were the most common concerns mentioned in a recent poll.
And these polls matter so much because they're coming up right as we're preparing for a very important midterm election where actually the balance of power in Congress is at stake. And so we were trying to figure out, what do people care about and what motivates them as they cast these very important votes.
She tells Inside Sources the poll showed that this year more voters are still unsure about where they would cast their vote to best inspire change. KSL News Time, 3:35. Let's find out if it's a typical Tuesday. First look traffic. Here's Ricky Meese.
It kind of is a typical drive home. Now, we do have our usual delays southbound I-15 leaving South Salt Lake through Murray and Midvale. But we also have a new crash, a minor one. It's northbound I-15 by Bangerter Highway. Those vehicles are to the right, but we're still waiting for emergency crews to arrive. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
So I heard about Dolly Parton around lunchtime today in Quick Scrambled. I know I've done a number of minutes of news about Dolly. One of them, looking back, coming up in just a moment.
Utah homeowners, listen up. If your roof is over 15 years old and you've had recent storm damage, now's the time to act. Hey, it's Josh with IWC Roofing, and we've built our reputation on quality, integrity, and taking care of homeowners the right way from start to finish. IWC Roofing, Utah's highest rated roofing company, is now offering $2,500 off your new roof replacement, plus a free upgrade package to maximize your home's protection and value. But that's not all. We're giving away a free roof. Yep, you heard me. One homeowner will receive a brand new roof free. And here's where it gets even better. When you call and mention this radio ad, you'll receive double entries to win. Appointments are filling up fast, and this offer won't last. Call now for your free inspection and estimate. 801-232-5690. That's 801-232-5690. Save $2,500, get upgraded, and you could win a brand new roof. Call IWC Roofing today, 801-232-5690. Restrictions apply. No purchase necessary. See IWCRoofingUtah.com for details and rules.
The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years. I owed the IRS a lot of money.
Louie was in deep trouble.
We're going to take your house, put a lien on your bank account, garnish your pay. They don't care. They're going to take your paycheck.
Louis found out about Optima Tax Relief, the leading tax resolution firm. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, they've resolved over $3 billion for their clients.
Optima Tax, they help me. They calm me down. They make me feel comfortable, and I trust them.
Louis has a lot to be thankful for.
I don't owe the IRS anymore, and I'm able to live a comfortable life, a lot better life. It was because of Optima Tax.
For tax help you can trust, call Optima now for a free consultation. Take it from Louis.
If you owe the IRS, don't go it alone. Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is from about 5 years ago. This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Dolly Parton is worth $350 million, not just because of the music. She's been singing for more than 50 years, but I can only name about 4 songs. There's 9 to 5, of course.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
And she wrote this one for Whitney Houston. And, of course, there's Dolly's first hit, Jolene, about a wayward woman.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Dolly's wealth comes from her amusement park Dollywood, her investments, and her prolific songwriting. She can crank out a song in no time flat, but she's never flat. Dolly is sparkling as a personality on the TV talk shows for decades.
Just so you know, I did see Jolene not long ago.
Oh, yeah.
She's not so hot now.
So cute at 75 years old, and now she's going to be an author. Dolly is now co-writing a novel with the legendary author James Patterson. But it's not like she suggested, hey, how about a book about a country music star who gets murdered? No. This book will be called Run, Jane, Run. It's about a country singer with a dark past. When they agreed to do this, within 2 days, she sent James Patterson the plot points, along with 7 songs she just wrote to help tell the story. And the songs will be released as a new album at the same time as the Dolly Parton James Patterson novel comes out in March. That's along with her Netflix specials, her Opryland appearances, and meantime, Jolene these days.
She used to have that beautiful red hair.
Yeah.
Now she's gray. She used to have a little tight butt. Now she can't get, it's a tight spot getting her butt through the door now.
Time marches on for all of us, even Jolene. But Dolly never changes.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
You just gotta smile. Traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Ricky, what's going on?
We do have this accident now starting to cause a little bit of backup in the area, northbound I-15 at Bangerter Highway. Officers and crews are arriving at the scene. It's over to the right, but it's slow in the area. And then a little further north on northbound I-15, a disabled vehicle. It's about halfway between 106 South by the mall and 90th South, and they're getting that moved out of traffic as well. But it's northbound I-15 as you go from South Salt Lake off and on all the way to the North Interchange, where speeds are really starting to slow. Now, southbounders on the I-15 drive, it's a little busy and not quite at the posted limit approaching the 2100 South area, but your bigger delays and ones you'd expect to see will start as you're approaching 45th South through Midvale. Still looking good over to the east, I-215 and I-80. And it's a little slow in both directions of I-15 in Weber County. And this is Roy and Riverdale. Eric?
Eastbound I-80 delays are growing a little bit as you go by the south end of the airport from Bangerter Highway over to 215. It's primarily folks trying to go south on 215 through that construction area, a tight entrance ramp there to go southbound. You've got southbound slowing on Bangerter itself from 700 South down to 3500 South, and Mountain View Corridor also slow in West Valley City approaching 35th South. Down Utah County, new incident. It's not a crash, it's a disabled vehicle. Southbound 15 just past 2100 North and Lehigh, but this is over on the right shoulder. At UTA, we move your early mornings, your long days, your big plans. We move purpose, we move you. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
You got a high of 94 today, partly cloudy skies, mountain storms possible. Keeping mountain storms in the forecast tomorrow, 95, partly cloudy. 96 and mostly sunny by Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Back up to 93 degrees in Salt Lake City on the way on KSL. You've heard about the guy who discovered his biological dad is on Utah's death row. You're going to hear from the reporter who's done extensive work on this case, Amy Donaldson. In just a few minutes, stay with us. We're streaming live at KSL.com and on the app for KSL News Radio. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Amanda, every business needs IT help. And sometimes you've got that guy who already works for your company who knows how to do this stuff, but sometimes you don't. Or the guy who knows the IT stuff, that's not his actual job.
Right. So Les Olson IT they can be your 24/7 help desk. They can support your existing help desk. They can do advanced cybersecurity protection. Maybe just come and take a look. Are you subject to phishing or ransomware or other things? What are the cyber threats you're facing?
And you've got to make sure that your data is secure. So both cloud and data backup solutions, they can help you with that. Plus, everybody's got to use a computer. That's where hardware comes in, infrastructure support. You don't have to know all this stuff because Les Olson IT knows it.
And most of the time, they can help you fix whatever's going wrong remotely, just off your computer. Plus, of course, they have copiers and printers. They always will at the very best price.
Les Olson IT is your trusted local IT partner. They've been in business for 70 years, and they've got 9 locations from Logan to Las Vegas.
Find out more at lesolson.com.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be 6 figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
KSL News Time, 3:45. The 3 things you need to know this hour first.
A proposed $100 million nuclear training campus is planned for Brigham City, with leaders expecting to work out funding and other details in the coming months. I'm KSL News Radio's Eric Brer.
Second, legendary country superstar Dolly Parton has passed away at the age of 80. The announcement made at lunchtime on social media by her family. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
We do have a small crash in Draper, northbound I-15. It's over to the right, and it is at the ramp, but it did cause some backups on the main flow and, of course, at the ramp. A disabled vehicle a little further up, northbound I-15, about 9800 south, and slow down southbound Highway 89 in Weber County after Walmart down to I-84. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Drier air moves in, mountain storms possible, but most valleys dry. I'm Matt Johnson.
We're at 91 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios now. Our top national stories.
ABC News, this is a special report. I'm Michelle Franzen. Word today, country music legend and actress, philanthropist Dolly Parton has died. She's known for decades of singing and writing hits, including Jolene. ABC's Alex Stone says there's no word yet on cause of death.
We know that she said that she had been neglecting her health since the loss of her husband, and while she had been caring for her husband for quite a while he was sick, he died last year. And that last year when she had performances scheduled in Las Vegas and then a residency, that she canceled those, initially saying it was going to be a couple of Vegas performances and then the residency could not go forward. But she didn't share a lot about it. She had been quiet in recent months.
Relatives say the memorial will be small and intimate. In a social media post, President Trump called Parton one of the greatest country singers and far beyond ever. He called for flags to be flown to half-staff nationwide in her honor. Dolly Parton was 80 years old. This is ABC News.
KSL News Time 347. Douglas Carter is back in court tomorrow. He's the man convicted of murdering Eva Olesen in 1985. He's spent decades on death row, but that conviction was overturned after police misconduct and new evidence was discovered. And now we're hearing from Carter's son for the first time ever. KSL Podcast's Amy Donaldson spoke exclusively with Tyler Anger, who didn't even know that Carter was his biological father until he became an adult. Here's a clip from him about that first meeting.
You know, we talked, and it was kind of weird because you feel like it would be like you're talking to yourself looking in the mirror. Like that's kind of what it sounded like, what it would remind me of. And some of the stuff that he says, or like the way he phrases things, it's weird how that works. But yeah, we had talked for a little while.
Amy tells Inside Sources that it's already complicated to navigate the relationship with biological family members, and it was even more so for Tyler Anger.
Tyler is pretty clear. He had a great childhood. I mean, he loves his parents. He said, my parents are the best people in the world. And so he wasn't looking for anything. I mean, sometimes when adoptees reach out to biological family relatives, they just want answers to some questions, or it's like a missing puzzle piece. So I have an adopted sister. I actually got to take her to meet her biological sister. And it was interesting. I was like having this little bit of anxiety, and I was like, oh, why do I feel weird about this? Like, this is such a great honor, right, to be able to accompany my little sister to do this. And then when they met, and I could see they look alike, and they share the same like love for their culture. Like, I thought that's what it is. Like, they have a thing that I can't have. Like, it's not mine. But yeah, but like, she's still my little sister. Like, I changed her diapers. I, fed her bottles. I, bought her Christmas stuff, so that is hard to navigate in the best of circumstances. Yeah. And it is, I can't imagine having that kind of reckoning when someone is on death row and not knowing, like, I mean, a lot of people in prison say they didn't do it or they didn't do what they're accused of. But Doug has maintained his innocence and Tyler. And so that's another thing to try to grapple with. This really horrific thing. He says he didn't do it. That there's an injustice in that, but there's also like, do I believe this guy I just met? There's just all this complex nuance that adds on top of what's already a really complicated family dynamic.
Tyler Anger tells Amy that he strongly believes in Carter's innocence, and he's been losing faith in the justice system because the process hasn't been fair to anyone involved, including both Douglas Carter and the Olesens. KSL News Time 349 now. Your traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
You are going to see traffic busy and slow, and that starts right about 13th South to the I-80 201 junction. Of course, though, the bigger delays are waiting for you, starting prior to 45th South Murray into Sandy at about 90th South northbound I-15. Traffic really backing up now, in part due to a small accident in Draper at the Bangor Highway exit on the shoulder. But it is heavy and slow from there all the way into the point of the mountain, and then more delays northbound I-15 between 33rd South and the North Interchange in North Salt Lake. We're also starting to see an uptick in traffic westbound I-215 South Belt going from Highland Drive over to just past 1300 East. I-80 still looking pretty quiet. Highway 89 delays continue southbound after the Walmart to the I-84 junction in the Uinta South Weber area, and southbound I-15, it is stacked up and slow, Riverdale and Roy. Eric?
The delays that we had westbound 201 highway are largely gone. Now, that was going out to 8,000 west, where you got construction pretty much on a daily basis. But right now, it looks like they've opened both of those lanes up. So the only delays are eastbound, westbound at 7200 west. If you're eastbound I-80 next to the airport, south under the airport, that's slow from Bangor to heading over to 215, especially that transition ramp to go south on 215. But now you got northbound slowing at California Avenue, heading up to I-80 and beyond. I-15 in Utah County, disabled vehicle southbound 15 just past 2100 north in Lehigh. This over on the right shoulder, though. The delays are actually on the northbound side, starting at 800 north in spots as you head up past Pleasant Grove Boulevard. Performance Automotive in Bountiful, endless possibilities with 3 locations. Performance Ford Lincoln, Performance Honda, and Performance Toyota, where excellence is standard. Start your search at performancebountiful.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast. 94, partly cloudy skies today with a slight chance for storms in the mountaintops. 95 tomorrow, repeat performance almost, with a slight chance in the evening, but mainly higher terrain. 96 on Thursday, mostly sunny skies, dry air in place. Partly cloudy on Friday, 95. Now you work into Saturday, 88 with a slight chance for storms. 85, mostly cloudy on Sunday, and Monday, 87, partly cloudy. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
It's 91 degrees in Salt Lake City. Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. We'll check the markets in just a moment. And Canada. We have that story coming up. Stay with us.
Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News, only on KSL News Radio.
At my house, the handyman is a handy woman. My wife loves doing DIY stuff, and I love telling her what a great job she's doing. See, I hate tools. Good thing I love Any Hour Services, because I'd call them at the first sign of trouble, but Heather says, I can fix that, and usually she does. But sometimes it's too much. The water heater's about to blow, fried circuitry in the air conditioning. That's when I get to be a man and rescue the situation with the one tool I do use, my phone. I call Any Hour Services. I'm an expert at calling them. Any Hour sends out a certified technician to get things all fixed up every time. Smart, respectful technicians. And they do this for so many people. So if you have an issue with your electric, plumbing, heating, or air conditioning, or just need a second opinion, read their 27,000 Google reviews and make an appointment. All you do is go to anyhour.com. They're the best. Nobody helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
We're watching Utah's money. All important chip stocks are on the rise today. It's been a rough week or so for semiconductors, but they're shaking off the slump ahead of NVIDIA's earning report tomorrow morning. Industry leaders like NVIDIA, Intel, AMD, and Marvell all up this afternoon. Canada's retaliatory tariffs are going to impact about $20 billion worth of goods that are sold to the U.S. That includes things like appliances, wood, paper products, clothing, even dairy and seafood. But most noteworthy is the 50% imposed tariff on steel and aluminum from Canada. These are going to go into effect in less than a month. On Wall Street today, the Dow up 160 points. It closed at 53,577. The S&P was up 24 points. The NASDAQ up 171 points. Waymo is going abroad again. Today, Alphabet announced plans to send its driverless cabs to Germany. That's the third international market for the robo-taxis after London and Tokyo. They're expected to start operations in Munich next year. KSL News Time 3:56. Time for Cougar Tracks. Here's BYU insider Mitch Harper.
Over the last 2 seasons, BYU football has won 23 games. That's good for 5th nationally in all of college football, dating back to 2024. Despite the large number of wins, it hasn't led to playoff appearances. Among the 10 winningest programs since 2024, only BYU has not reached the playoff. BYU sophomore quarterback Bear Bachmeier is looking to change that and has the playoff as a goal in 2026.
Just the little things. I mean, that's what wins you those big games. Is just those little things, and you know, playing your best in big moments. We obviously didn't make it last year, but you know, we got a big chip on our shoulder, and it's just added fuel to the fire for us, and so we're motivated to just work hard and get back there and do even more this year.
For all the latest on BYU football this season, subscribe to the Cougar Tracks podcast on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. With Cougar Tracks, I'm Mitch Harper on your legacy home of the BYU Cougars, KSL News Radio.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks? Do you feel neglected or unloved? If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, a gripping new 9-part investigative podcast about a serial killer you've probably never heard of, Warren Forrest, a sadistic predator who prowled the Pacific Northwest in the early 70s. He hid behind the deeds of Ted Bundy, and he's only been convicted of 2 murders, but is suspected of many more. Since the release of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley, a witness identified in the podcast could lead investigators to the remains of Jamie Grissom.
He ran into the woods. He said he stumbled. As he fell down, he looks up and sees the body of a young woman.
And now the FBI is testing forensic evidence that had been collecting dust for decades. This cold case is now red hot. Binge the entire season of Stolen Voices of Dole Valley right now, wherever you get your podcasts. And make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on the latest breaking news.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Auto loan rates as low as 4.74% APR. Ricky, what's going on?
Slowdowns westbound I-215 southbound from about 20th East over through Fort Union. Southbound I-15 heavy and slow between downtown 2100 South and again Murray and Midvale. Northbound I-15 some slowing at the point to the Bangerter Highway exit where the crash is still over to the right at the ramp. Then more heavy and slow traffic northbound I-15 2100 South into North Salt Lake. Eric?
Looks like they moved that disabled vehicle out of the way, southbound 15 in Utah County, just past 2100 North in Lehigh. That was always over on the shoulder and never really was a cause for delays. The delays are more or less on the northbound side. Starts at 800 North in Orem, going up into Linden, and then after the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit, you've got another patch of slowing heading up to about 500 East in American Fork. Southbound Mountain View corridor getting crowded, getting down to SR 73. Eric Butler on the KSL Traffic Center.
Down to 70 degrees overnight for tomorrow. Expect a partly cloudy sky. Will top out around 95 and then mid to upper 80s expected for the weekend. No triple digits in the forecast. We like that, right?
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Good afternoon, 4 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Jeff Caplan. We're at 91 in Salt Lake City. KSL's top story, the death of the legendary Dolly Parton. Dolly's family says she was surrounded by family in Nashville as she passed. They say she wasn't sad to go, she was ready ever since the loss of her husband, Carl Dean.
They were coming up on 58 years together when he passed away last year, and she said she even neglected her own health to take care of him, that they had quite the love story, and she says it was one for the ages, and that they really did love each other.
That's ABC's Alex Stone. Dolly Parton will not only be remembered for her time on the stage and the screen, but for her dedication to children. Over the past 3 decades, Dolly's Imagination Library distributed 200 million free books to kids all over the world, including here in Utah. KSL News Radio's Claire Scott has more.
While Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has not been formally adopted by the state of Utah, it's teamed up with the Utah-based nonprofit Operation Literacy to bring free books to Utah children. Officials with the nonprofit say they're working to get the state in on this program with a bill sponsored by State Senator Heidi Baldery and Representative Ariel DeFay. Dolly herself authored and co-authored many books throughout her life. Her song, Coat of Many Colors, was actually turned into a children's book. Here's a clip of her reading it to the children in the Library of Congress.
I hurried off to school just to find the others laughing and making fun of me in my coat of many colors that Mama made for me. In my coat of many colors that my Mama made for me. Made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. And although we had no money, I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me.
After announcing her death, Dolly's family said you can show your support by donating to the Imagination Library. Claire Scott, KSL News Radio.
And we'll be speaking with the CEO of Operation Literacy about Dolly and her program. That's coming up at 4:45, so stay with us. KSL News Time 4:02, a Utah man who found out his biological father was a death row inmate is now one of his biggest advocates. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson with the story.
Tyler Anker was adopted as a baby, and it wasn't until 2009 that he found out his biological father is Douglas Carter, a man who spent 4 decades on Utah's death row. Anker is now building a relationship with Carter through phone calls.
He doesn't get to talk to people, right? I mean, he's kind of by himself, so when he calls, I try and let him talk as much as possible about whatever he wants to talk about. But I'm very curious about his life, and there's times that we've been able to talk.
Anker tells KSL they talk about how frustrating it's been watching how slow the wheels of justice move. Carter was originally convicted for the murder of Eva Olesen in Provo in 1985, but last year a judge overturned the conviction because of police and prosecutorial misconduct. Anker believes the new DNA evidence coming to light that doesn't match Carter's DNA should be enough to prove he was wrongfully convicted. Peterson, KSL News Radio.
Thanks. Heather Peterson there, KSL News Time 4:04. Tremont and Garland police say they've been hearing concerns about license plate recognition cameras recently installed. In a statement, the chief, Dustin Cordova, says the tech is similar to flock cameras, but it comes from Motorola, and he says they were installed only as a trial, but the department has ultimately decided the benefits of the cameras are not worth the potential cost or the potential privacy violations. He says the cameras will be taken down, and he's grateful for everyone who expressed their concern. Utah Highway Patrol is looking into ways to crack down on one of the biggest driving pet peeves of all time, left lane loafing. KSL News Radio's Adam Small has details.
You ever find yourself stuck behind a wall of traffic on I-15 because someone won't move out of the left lane for people who want to pass? Utah Highway Patrol Colonel Greg Hawley says it's actually illegal to camp in the left lane in Utah, even if you're going the speed limit.
It really is a traffic flow thing.
State lawmakers asked Hawley to talk with them about this issue on Capitol Hill recently. He made it clear left lane loafers are not as high on their priority list as people who are speeding or doing something dangerous, but he says people camping in the left lane can lead other drivers to do more dangerous things.
If the slower person doing 72, 73 miles an hour moves for those that want to do 80, those people doing 80 don't need to change lanes and zip in and out of traffic, and hopefully troopers down the road to stop them.
Hawley says this is partly why they've pulled over hundreds of left lane loafers over the last few years, and he says they could end up doing more of that through targeted blitzes. He also told lawmakers they could do better at educating people about this law. Adam Small, KSL News Radio.
A transplant program here in Utah that saved more than 2,000 lives celebrated a major milestone today. The Utah Cardiac Transplant Program has officially been operating for 40 years. It connects 4 local hospitals to help them collaborate on heart transplant needs where normally they'd be competing against each other. Recipient Lawrence Parker tells KSL-TV, you never know when you might need their help.
This was something that came out of the blue. I mean, hereditary amyloidosis was something that came right out of the blue. I did not know anybody in my family who had it.
Parker, that guy, says he got his new heart Valentine's Day in 2021, and it did more than save his life, it transformed it. KSL News Time 4:06. Quick first look traffic. Ricky Meese is here.
Well, we just heard from a listener to confirm this, but I'm looking at a new crash. It's southbound on I-215's West Belt after 700 North, and it is blocking a left lane, causing delays. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
My minute's on the way. Stay here.
What if 4 weeks from now, everything felt different? Your energy, your weight, the way your clothes fit, that is what the Soda Dynamic Diet is built to do. And right now, Soda has a special end of summer special. Get 4 weeks free when when you call 866-800-SODA and mention this radio station. With SODA, a person can expect to lose 15 to 20 pounds per month because SODA teaches you how to let go of the weight and how to keep it off for a lifetime. No shots, no pills, no lifetime dependency, just real food, expert guidance, and habits that last. SODA believes weight loss should be temporary, but the results should not be. So instead of putting you on shots and pills, SODA teaches you how to eat for your body and keep the weight off for good. SODA is not a quick fix. It is a proven process that teaches you how to eat for life. You work one-on-one with degreed nutritionists who guide you through every step of the way. You learn what works for your body so the weight stays off long after the program ends. You walk away healthier, more confident, and free from chasing the next expensive fix. Thousands of success stories, nearly 10,000 Google reviews, real results you can see. SODA is, say it with me, state of the art.
Hi, this is Doug Wright, and there are 3 terrific productions underway right now at Hale Center Theater. Let's start with the newest on the Jewel Box stage. It's Moriarty, a new Sherlock Holmes adventure, pitting Holmes against his arch rival and mentor, Professor James Moriarty, in a delightful and even humorous tale. And by the way, at the end of the play, when the curtain falls, the cast comes out to take their bows. You'll be amazed at how few actors actually brought this story to life. On the center stage, Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. This is an absolute favorite. And the young theater goer who was sitting behind me kept saying, "This is so cool," and he absolutely nailed it. It's on the center stage. And don't forget Thornton Wilder's Our Town. It's an American classic. All 3 showing now at Hale Center Theater. Don't forget to get your season tickets for 2027. Go to hct.org. Get your tickets now at Hale Center Theater.
This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. It's a playbook that's been used over and over again ever since they invented the first computer. Young tech leaders spin yarns and tell tales saying their technology is going to change the world. And sometimes it does. The first PC, the internet, now AI. Yeah, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon, now Sam Altman at ChatGPT. They hype their product, their stock soars, they get rich. But never mention their products can also change the world for the worse. And when that happens, they change their clothes. I'm serious. They hire a PR team to buff up their image, and the first suggestion is to change their look. The Facebook guy, Mark Zuckerberg, tossed his hoodies and put on a suit. And before he appeared before Congress, his PR team was blow-drying his armpits with a handheld thing, so the world wouldn't see him sweat.
We didn't take a broad enough view of our responsibility, and that was a big mistake.
When he said that, his armpits were toasty. And now we learn Bill Gates, the Microsoft founder, now discredited for his association with a certain dead pedophile, Bill Gates tried to change the narrative, I kid you not, by dressing like Mr. Rogers. The New York Post reports his PR team dressed up a mannequin over and over again to find the perfect look that said calm and approachable. And they landed on a neutral V-neck sweater over a white-collar T-shirt. His hair, do a side-by-side. It's styled exactly the same as the beloved children's host. And we're apparently suckers because his approval rating rose. Netflix even did a documentary about his philanthropy, but then came his ugly divorce and the revelations, in the words of Mr. Rogers. Can you say Epstein? Sure, I knew you could. So I asked Bill Gates, even with his calm, approachable outfits, would you want him living in your neighborhood?
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood.
Jeff Caplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
For those who are traveling southbound on I-15, we have some of the usual slowdowns from downtown to the I-80-201 junction and again Murray and Midvale. But now we're starting to see traffic getting really busy and really slow southbound I-15 from 106 South in Sandy all the way into Draper. Then northbound on I-15, also still crowded and slow as you go from the Point up to the Bangerter Highway exit. And more delays waiting for you between 33rd South to downtown. But from downtown to the North Interchange, it's been filling in and slowing down as well. Over to the east, still seeing some heavy traffic. A little unusual in this stretch in the Cottonwood Heights area, westbound I-215 South Belt from 20th East all the way over to almost State Street. North and southbound I-15 in Weber County, bogged down and slower speeds, Roy and Riverdale to the I-84 junction. Eric?
Got a crash off to the left, southbound 215, the westbound, right before the North Temple area. And this is causing some pretty big delays stretching all the way back to 2100 North. I would characterize it as stop and go from that 2100 North area down to the crash. And you've got northbound slowing of the usual variety on the westbound, going by California Avenue, southbound Bangerter, slow approaching from California past 201 down to 3500 south. Down in Utah County, I-15 slowdowns on the freeway, basically on the northbound side from 800 north in Orem up to Linden, up into Linden, and then past the Pleasant Grove Boulevard exit on the southbound side. Still looking good, really, throughout from Point of the Mountain all the way down to Santa Quinn. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
You got a high of 94 today, partly cloudy skies, mountain storms possible. Keep your mountain storms in the forecast tomorrow, 95, partly cloudy. 96 and mostly sunny by Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
And right now, in Salt Lake City, it's 91 degrees, so we all know wildfire smoke is lousy to breathe. But how about when it falls out of the sky? Stay here. Some answers are on the way on KSL News Radio. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
Hey, Doug, what is it that you do? 'Cause everybody's buying a car from you. Hey, Doug.
There's never been a better time to fall in love with Subaru. Now through August 31st, get award-winning vehicles and exceptional offers from a brand you trust during the Subaru A Lot to Love event.
Hey, Doug.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? It's natural to think of this as being your money, right? But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And you could be paying a lot more in taxes on these accounts than you know. A lot more. Learn the strategies that can help you reduce or eliminate your taxes in retirement. Don't miss a special edition of Retirement Solutions Radio this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Right here on KSL News Radio 1027.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-330-8323 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-330-8323. That's 800-330-8323. What do you have to lose? Call 800-330-8323. Again, 800-330-8323.
Thanks for listening this afternoon. KSL News Time 4:15. The three things you need to know this hour first.
The Timpanogos School District hasn't even had its first year yet, and it's already planning to close a junior high and a handful of elementary schools. The full list of those on the chopping block at KSL.com ahead of tomorrow's meeting. I'm KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson.
Second, the biological son of former death row inmate Douglas Carter is speaking out about how slow the wheels of justice are moving ahead of Carter's new bond hearing tomorrow. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
We do have traffic coming to a crawl southbound I-215's West Belt. It's due to an accident after 7th North and before the North Temple I-80 junction. Left lanes are blocked. You are going to see stop-and-go delays that continue to build almost to just past 1700 North. Ricky Meeson, the KSL Traffic Center.
These pop-up thunderstorms continue with temperatures in the 90s. I'm Kevin Eubank.
91 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now, our top national stories.
From ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. A new court filing over the Kennedy Center naming battle. The Justice Department in the filing suggesting that the Kennedy Center for Performing Arts could face demolition.
The Trump administration is now threatening to tear down the iconic Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. if a federal judge doesn't green-light President Trump's efforts to renovate the building and put his own name on the front of it. The Justice Department's lawyers wrote that without Trump's help, the, quote, decrepit Kennedy Center arts venue would go into a, quote, death spiral. And they say it could be demolished and then replaced with something like a, quote, large outdoor amphitheater. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, the Kennedy Center.
The divide between the U.S. and one of its top trading partners deepening. Canada leaders today detailing plans for retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods set to begin September 8th. That in response to the U.S.'s 50% tariffs on Canadian goods in effect. Here's ABC's Karen Travers.
Why is Canada doing this? Of course, we heard the Prime Minister say that they're in a trade war right now. They feel attacked and they have to respond. A senior Canadian government official said that they're doing this to level the playing field and protect Canadian companies, and that this is a necessary move. The president today said that of all the countries he deals with, Canada is the most difficult and unreasonable.
Fans are mourning the death of Dolly Parton. The country music legend started her career writing and singing hits that include Jolene and I Will Always Love You. She also turned to acting. In a 1982 interview with ABC's Barbara Walters, Parton talked about what she wanted to accomplish.
I want people to know there's some brains beneath the wig and a heart beneath the boobs. And I think people are beginning to see that.
Dolly's nephew, Brian Seaver, says they'll carry on her legacy.
Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness.
Dolly Parton was 80 years old. President Trump has ordered flags be flown at half-staff in her honor. You're listening to ABC News.
KSL News Time, 4:18. New research shows rain falling through wildfire smoke actually can help the environment. Alexandra Panet Gonzalez is a professor for city and metropolitan planning at the University of Utah. She told Utah's New News that we think a lot about smoke in the air, but not so much when it comes down from the sky.
So we decided to study that process, and we found that smoke coincides with rain somewhat infrequently, but it seems to be happening more and more over time. So just to give you an example, we found that these smoke rain events, as we're calling them, happened on average 4 to 22 days per year, depending on the year. But the number was 5 times higher in 2022, which is the year with the most smoke. Secondly, and very importantly, we found that smoke-affected rain increases the amount of nutrients delivered to ecosystems. And so the nutrients that were most enhanced in rain were nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are 3 nutrients that are essential for life. I also want to mention these are key components of fertilizer because they tend to promote the growth of organisms. So just to put a number on it, in 2022, these events, even though they occurred infrequently, they accounted for about up to 1/3 of the annual amount of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium that was raining out of the sky, so to speak. So those are 2 very important findings, and this varies from region to region across the United States. Here in the western United States, we have lower rainfall than in the eastern United States. And so even though those events didn't happen as frequently, we saw very large increases in the amount of nitrogen, potassium, and calcium as well, which is another essential nutrient for life.
She says that just like nutrients for the human body, these can promote growth and increase production in the ecosystem. Emergency traffic, listen up. We're brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at UCCU.com. What's the deal, Ricky?
A lot more emergency crews have arrived on the scene of this crash. Southbound to I-215's westbound after 7th North. And it's before the I-80 junction, but it's because those left lanes are blocked. We are seeing stop-and-go delays stack up really quickly, almost to 2300 North. That's a long stretch of that part of the West Belt. And if you're coming off of Legacy, you want to consider an alternate route because shortly after switching from Legacy to I-215, those brake lights are going to be waiting for you. Now, on the southbound drive of I-15, you'll see typical slowdowns essentially from downtown all the way through Draper. Northbound I-15 bogged down Lehigh into the Bangor Highway area. More northbound I-15 slowdowns from just before 33rd South up to the North Interchange. And we've had heavy and slow traffic westbound I-215 South Belt from about 20th East over to State. In Weber County, heavy and slow traffic both directions of I-15, and that's anywhere between Sunset through Riverdale. Eric?
You got westbound slowing on the 201 highway from I-15 over to 215 and 215 on the northbound side. Just got your usual delays. Pretty slow. 201 heading up past California Avenue. The southbound slowing Bangerter Highway and Mountain View Corridor in both cases down to 3500 south. Down in Utah County, I-15 southbound, you are starting to see a little slowing now going by Pleasant Grove Boulevard, but more so on the northbound side. That actually starts at Center Street in Orem, and pretty continuous slow speeds all the way up into American Fork. Attention property managers, customers, see your parking lot before seeing your lobby. Make the first thing unforgettable with GoPave Utah. Seal coating, crack sealing, striping, patching across the Wasatch Front. Visit at GoPaveUtah.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Your 7-day forecast brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful. So, Kevin Eubank, it looks like, it's a ways off. We're going to get a cold snap of sorts this weekend.
We do get a little cold front that's going to come through, but again, the cool down is pretty relative, I guess. We'll go from the 90s to the 80s. But tonight, those big thunderstorms of the last couple of nights, well, we still have a slight chance for a little buildup. About a 20% chance for a stray thunderstorm after dark. Same story goes tomorrow, but otherwise partly cloudy and hot, mid-90s on both Wednesday and Thursday. Partly cloudy and 94 Friday, then that cold front comes through. On Saturday, we're looking at a chance for some rain. Temperatures stop in the 80s with lows in the 60s. We'll stay in those 80s and 60s all the way through the middle of next week. So September comes and temperatures drop.
Yeah, so last night, you mentioned the thunderstorms. There was a thunderclap overhead in Kaysville that our house shook. I think I've never felt anything like this before. My wife was asking, was that a nuclear attack? Aliens? What's going on?
It's been intense. The last couple of days, the atmosphere is just supercharged. So not only are the lightnings just continuous, the thunder and the depth of that thunder is big. And so it rumbles and shakes, and it is pretty impressive. Lots of folks have said they hadn't felt it before.
Yeah, and it's bouncing off the mountains as well.
That's true.
All right, thanks a lot, Kevin. Right now, 91 in Salt Lake City, KSL News Time, 423.
This is Andy Farnsworth with One Kind Act a Day's Minute of Kindness, brought to you by the Seminani Family Foundation. Have you ever seen a baby bird and wondered what you should do? Wild Aware Utah has a whole page that can help you. Visit wildawareutah.org to learn more about baby birds. Most birds hatch and get raised from March through August. It is best not to try to feed a baby bird because each bird species and age have a specific diet requirement. Contrary to popular belief, you can handle the baby to move it to safety. Most birds do not have a sense of smell, and human scent will not cause the parents to reject the baby. You don't need to call a licensed wildlife rehabilitator unless you know the parents are dead or the bird is injured. Remember, it is against state and federal laws to possess wild animals without special permits. When you see a wild animal, how can you show kindness? Find further resources at thepowerofkind.org. That's thepowerofkind.org.
It's time to get sewing again with special discounts and super savings in August on Bernina machines and accessories at Dave's Bernina in St. George and Provo.
Find out about the new products to be released in the upcoming weeks. Special pre-order pricing on the all-new Bernina 790 Ultra, 580 and 495 Liberty Editions, and the Bernina 660 and 620 Surgers.
Come in and test drive their sewing machines.
The Bernina 990, 770 Pro, and 570 are on sale, featuring free accessory bundles worth from $2,900 up to $4,600.
All new Berninas come with a 5-year warranty and free classes.
48 months, 0% interest on specific machine purchases.
And at Dave's Bernina, they service all brands. August means big savings at Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North, 550 West in Provo. Dave's Bernina.
We're watching Utah's Money at KSL on this first day of pumpkin spice latte season. The PSL is back. It's Starbucks, back on the menu today. You can get that and a variety of other pumpkin-y fall beverages starting today. A $100 billion spaceport is on its way to Louisiana. That's how much Elon Musk says he could spend on a launch facility for SpaceX rockets. He says the company will work with the state there to protect the wetlands and marshes. SpaceX stock up about 2% on the announcement. Oil prices were down 3% today. The dip coming after the Treasury Secretary said a renewed war in Iran is not likely, at least for now. The U.S. is focusing on economic sanctions instead. U.S. crude today sitting at $82 a barrel. And by the numbers from Wall Street, the Dow up 160 points. The S&P was up 24 and the NASDAQ gained 171 points.
If you've saved more than $300,000, there's one thing you can do now that can make your savings go twice as far in retirement, and it's tax planning. That's right. Tax planning could significantly reduce the taxes on your IRA and 401k withdrawals, Social Security benefits, and other investment income. Find out how much money you could save with a free retirement tax savings analysis from the good people at Boss Retirement Solutions. To schedule your free analysis, call 801-896-9622. Tax planning for retirement could reduce your taxes not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. And the savings could be six figures. Let's find out how much money you could save. Call 801-896-9622. 801-896-9622.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice. Advisory services offered through Boss Retirement Advisors, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Insurance products and services offered through Boss Retirement Solutions.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a seven-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
Out here, farming runs on credit. Every spring, we borrow from the local community bank to get crops in the ground. But proposed crypto legislation in the U.S. Senate contains a carve-out that would drain deposits out of our hometown banks, causing us to have to pay more for the credit we need to do our job. Call Senator John Curtis and tell him don't let a crypto carve-out drain credit that farmers rely on. Learn more at farmersforafairdeal.com.
Paid for by Farmers for a Fair Deal.
It is emergency traffic brought to you by UCCU. Auto loan rates as low as 4.74% APR. So, Ricky, fill us in.
We are all jammed up southbound I-215's West Belt from about 2700 north, just after Legacy Parkway, all the way down to the I-80 junction, where right before that we have a crash with injuries, and the left lanes are blocked. We also have a KSL listener reporting a crash at the on-ramp 5th South, downtown Salt Lake City to I-15 north or southbound. At least right lanes are blocked. There may be other vehicles involved, and the ramp traffic is stacked up. Eric?
We've got southbound slowdowns in Utah County going by Pleasant Grove Boulevard, but more extensive stretch of slowdowns are on the northbound side. That starts just past University Parkway, goes through almost all of Orem, past Pleasant Grove Boulevard into American Fork. Eric Butler on the KSL Traffic Center.
Forecasting a high of 94 today, partly cloudy skies, and just a slight chance for a PM shower. I think most of it stays in the mountains. Similar setup tomorrow with a high of 95, and then we'll go mostly sunny skies, 96 by Thursday. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
In Ogden, 92 degrees, 95 with sunshine. In Provo and down in St. George, blue sky, 102 degrees.
You're listening to Jeff Caplan's Afternoon News
on KSL News Radio, 102.7 FM
and 1160 AM.
Good afternoon, 4:30 at KSL. Jeff Caplan here. 93 in Salt Lake City, KSL's top story. A proposed nuclear training campus in Brigham City could come with a price tag of up to $100 million. But where that money would come from, we're still not sure. KSL News Radio's Eric Cabrera has what we've learned thus far. Eric?
Jeff, High-Tech Solutions Senior Vice President Kurt Marlowe tells me the company envisions a partnership involving private industry, universities, and potentially state and federal government. But right now, even the exact scope of the campus is still taking shape.
We expect, the exact scope of that project to really be defined in the next few months as we work with our partners.
That means the funding breakdown, including how much each partner could contribute, hasn't been finalized either. The plan calls for an initial training facility, potentially growing into a larger campus where workers could get specialized training for nuclear industry jobs. And to be clear, this campus would have no working reactors or nuclear material. There is a separate, broader proposal for small modular reactors around Brigham City that the workforce trained there could eventually support. Live, Eric Cabrera, KSL News Radio.
Utah Valley University has launched a new scholarship specifically for students in high school who are earning college credits. You have to be enrolled in UVU's concurrent enrollment program. Qualifying high school students can earn up to a $20,000 scholarship toward a UVU degree. The program meant to encourage high school students to pursue college coursework earlier. The brand new Timpanogos School District is already considering closing several schools. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson has details ahead of a public meeting tomorrow night.
The school district is looking to close 3 to 5 elementary schools and 1 junior high. But today they've just named the 10 elementaries and 3 junior highs that are up on the chopping block, including Orem, Linden, and Northridge Elementary. District officials say that's because they want everyone from these potential schools to be able to weigh in on the matter before any final decisions are made. The proposed closures come before the Timpanogos School District even becomes official next year. This district was one of the 3 breakouts from the Alpine School District, and officials tell us they knew this was necessary to consolidate these schools even before the split.
We'll have the full list of schools being considered for closure at tomorrow's meeting. They're posted at KSL.com. The state has ordered the Davis School District to reconsider a ban on the book Fight Club after they didn't talk about Fight Club. Let's get an explanation. Here's KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis.
An appeal filed against Davis School District says leaders did not take any time to talk before voting to remove Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk from their schools, only putting the topic down on their consent agenda.
This is certainly controversial, which is part of the reason why you'd almost want it on a consent decree, but it needs to be out there as its own separate issue. It's also not something that's routine.
Assistant Attorney General Laura Cooper told the State Standards and Assessment Committee consent agendas are for non-controversial topics, and members should be talking over their decision with the public. The final decision will go to the full State Board of Education. This is the first time a procedural reason has been cited as a problem for a book ban since the state passed the Sensitive Materials Law in 2024. Brianna Willis, KSL News Radio.
KSL News Time, 4:34. Our top national story, a new court filing from the Justice Department suggests the Kennedy Center could be torn down.
The Trump administration is now threatening to tear down the iconic Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. if a federal judge doesn't green-light President Trump's efforts to renovate the building and put his own name on the front of it. The Justice Department's lawyers wrote that without Trump's help, the, quote, decrepit Kennedy Center arts venue would go into a, quote, death spiral. And they say it could be demolished and then replaced with something like a, quote, large outdoor amphitheater. Jay O'Brien, ABC News, the Kennedy Center.
Evacuations in Texas today, where a new wildfire outside Dallas has burned 50,000 acres in just hours. News Nation's Nicole Burley here.
The Ross Fire erupted yesterday with high temperatures and intense winds fanning the flames, some of which soared nearly 100 feet in the air. Schools and roads are closed, with flames threatening the area's expansive cattle ranches. The fire is said to be burning at a rate of about 35 football fields per minute, as more than 75% of the state experiences a drought.
Nationwide, there have been more than 50,000 wildfires so far this year, the most we've seen in more than a decade. Wildfire smoke may actually have a positive impact on the environment.
We found that smoke-affected rain increases the amount of nutrients delivered to ecosystems. And so the nutrients that were most enhanced in rain were nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium, which are 3 nutrients that are essential for life.
That's U of U Professor Alexandra Ponet-Gonzalez, who told Utah's Noon News that those nutrients can help with growth and production of plants, but that's dependent on the location. Some ecosystems benefit more from those elements than others, and she says it's a great opportunity for more research to be done. KSL News Time, 4:35. At last report, we were in emergency traffic. So the update, Ricky?
We're still in emergency traffic, I'm afraid. A lot of emergency crews on the scene of this injury accident. Southbound I-215's westbound after 7th North. You do have delays to about 2300 North, not far from Legacy. So plan on extra time to get through that stretch or you just may want to avoid it altogether and take an alternate route. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Thanks, Ricky. My Minute's on the way next. Stay with us.
I'm not one to say I told you so, but I switched to Pure Talk over a year ago, and ever since, I've been telling people there's no better wireless company out there. Well, a few months ago, a massive survey was conducted. 123,000 people were asked to rate their wireless carrier in 4 categories: coverage, support, data, and overall value. Well, the results are in. Guess which wireless company was the only wireless company to get 5 stars in every category? Yeah, Pure Talk. 5 stars, every category. To celebrate, Pure Talk is offering the first 3 months of any plan for just $15 a month, including their top-tier unlimited plan. No contract, no commitment, just a very inexpensive way to test drive the only American wireless company with 5 stars in every category. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service will take it from there. Again, pound 250 micro. And yes, I told you so.
Do you know how to tell if a clogged drain is something to worry about or not? What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and I understand it's annoying and inconvenient, but sometimes a clogged drain can be a sign there's a more serious issue with your sewer main line. If the drains in the lowest level of your home aren't draining, or you flush a toilet and it comes up somewhere else like a shower or a floor drain, I'm urging you to look at this as more than just an annoyance. The last thing I want you to experience is a sewer backup. If you're a homeowner experiencing any of these issues, the first step would be to snake the line to see if it's just a blockage, which one of our drain techs can do for only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
So I've done minutes of news about Dolly Parton any number of times over the years. Here's one from a few short years ago. This is My Minute of News, brought to you by Any Hour Services, electrical, plumbing, heating, and air, anyhourservices.com. Dolly Parton is worth $350 million, not just because of the music. She's been singing for more than 50 years, but I can only name about 4 songs. There's 9 to 5, of course.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
And she wrote this one for Whitney Houston. And of course, there's Dolly's first hit, Jolene, about a wayward woman.
Jolene, 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 I'm begging of you, please don't take my man.
Dolly's wealth comes from her amusement park Dollywood, her investments, and her prolific songwriting. She can crank out a song in no time flat, but she's never flat. Dolly is sparkling as a personality on the TV talk shows for decades.
Just so you know, I did see Jolene not long ago.
Oh, yeah.
She's not so hot now.
So cute at 75 years old, and now she's going to be an author. Dolly is now co-writing a novel with the legendary author James Patterson. But it's not like she suggested, hey, how about a book about a country music star who gets murdered? No. This book will be called Run, Jane, Run. It's about a country singer with a dark past. When they agreed to do this, within 2 days, she sent James Patterson the plot points, along with 7 songs she just wrote to help tell the story. And the songs will be released as a new album at the same time as the Dolly Parton James Patterson novel comes out in March. That's along with her Netflix specials, her Opryland appearances, and meantime, Jolene these days.
She used to have that beautiful red hair.
Yeah.
Now she's gray. She used to have a little tight butt. Now she can't get, it's a tight spot getting her butt through the door now.
Time marches on for all of us, even Jolene. But Dolly never changes.
Jeff Kaplan's Minute of News, only on KSL News Radio.
The prolific Dolly Parton. Stay with us. More to come right now. Traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Here's Ricky Meese.
Left lanes remain blocked with this crash, causing heavy delays on the West Belt. This is southbound I-215's West Belt after 7th North. And as long as they've got lanes blocked, we are not going to see any improvement in the backups, which are almost back to the legacy switch-off. Not quite, but almost. Now, if you're thinking of an alternate route, that may not be a bad idea. Redwood Road or southbound I-15 could be alternates. But speaking of southbound I-15, traffic is already crowded and slow between the North Interchange and 2100 South, and again from 33rd South in South Salt Lake through Draper. Northbound I-15 also bogged down coming around the point into Draper at the Bangerter Highway exit, and again from 33rd South through North Salt Lake. Over to the east, we're seeing improvement on the heavy and slower traffic. I-215 southbound, but westbound from 23rd East over to Fort Union is still a little crowded and slow. North and southbound I-15 in Davis and Weber counties. Delays between Clearfield and Riverdale. Eric?
Mountain View Corridor slow in the typical spot, 201 Highway in West Valley City down to 35th South. You do have some additional southbound slowing approaching 134 South in Harriman, and in Utah County. It's building up fast. Southbound slowdowns even before 2100 North and Lehigh, going down to SR 73 on the freeway. Northbound I-15 Utah County, that's slow from just past University Parkway, and that's kind of stop and go really all the way past 1600 North, and then further northbound reduced speeds up ahead into American Fork. Southbound reduced speeds going from Lehigh's Main Street all the way down to Linden. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Temperatures remain well above normal in the mid to upper 90s the next couple of days, and we still have a threat for a little afternoon pop-up thunderstorm. Tonight, 70 for the low, 95 and partly cloudy on Wednesday, 97 on Thursday. The chance of those little stray pop-up storms will go away as we head through Friday. Partly cloudy and 94 to finish the work week. Then a cold front will slip through Saturday. It'll bring a chance for rain, drop us into the 80s for highs with lows in the 60s. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Kevin Eubank.
93 in Salt Lake City. We were talking about Dolly Parton. Her charity work has had a profound impact here in Utah. Stay with us. We're going to talk live with the CEO of Operation Literacy in just a few minutes. We're streaming live at KSL.com. This is Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. People still ask me, hey, you lose some weight? And they automatically think I'm taking injections. I lost 32 pounds in 6 weeks. I had to get new clothes. You know, it's easy to assume I'm stabbing myself with a weight loss drug, and they're about to ask me how bad the stomach upset is, and I hit them with the conversation stopper. I'm not doing the weight loss drugs. I don't want the side effects. I don't want to be stuck taking them forever. So instead, I lost about a pound a day the natural, healthy way with Salt Lake City fat loss. And I was never hungry, never got grouchy. SLC Fat Loss helps you lose weight fast, and they help you keep it off. You don't have to buy any food, no shakes, no protein bars. It's a sensible program that works. It was doctor developed to speed your metabolism so you lose fat fast. And the best part, I learned the skills to keep the weight off for a year now. Schedule your free consultation. There's no pressure at all. All you have to do is go to slcfatloss.com. That's slcfatloss.com.
Are you a local business tired of juggling deliveries, managing drivers, or sending valuable employees across town? There's a better way. Pigeon Ship. For more than 10 years, Pigeon Ship has provided fast, reliable, same-day and next-day delivery services for businesses throughout Utah. Whether you need a few deliveries a day or hundreds, Pigeon Ship has the network, technology, and experience to get it done on time. Auto parts, plumbing supplies, electrical components, pharmacy deliveries, and more. Utah's most successful businesses trust Pigeon Ship to keep their operations moving. Stop the stress of hiring drivers. Stop pulling employees away from their real jobs. And stop worrying about whether your deliveries will arrive on time. Join the thousands of businesses that rely on Pigeon Ship every day for dependable local delivery solutions. Visit pigeonship.com today to schedule a call and see how quickly Pigeon Ship can streamline your delivery operations. Pigeon Ship. Avoid the trip. Pigeon Ship. That's pigeonship.com. pigeonship.com.
Escape the everyday with a quick trip to Cedar City. Just one tank of gas from the Wasatch Front, but a world away in experience. Hike through the cool, refreshing beauty of Canara Falls, where red rock walls and flowing water create a stunning natural escape. Then head up to Cedar Breaks National Monument, where the air is crisp, the views stretch for miles, and the night skies come alive with thousands of stars. And when the sun goes down, step into the spotlight at the world-renowned Utah Shakespeare Festival, where unforgettable stories unfold under the open sky. From outdoor adventure to rich arts and culture to peaceful, wide open spaces, Cedar City is the kind of getaway that helps you slow down, breathe deeper, and reconnect. So whether you're chasing fresh mountain air, unforgettable scenery, or a night of incredible live performance, it's all waiting for you, closer than you think. Discover the art of adventure. Find your inspiration in Cedar City. Plan your getaway today at visitcedarcity.com.
KSL News Time 446. The three things you need to know this hour. First,
Utah Highway Patrol says they're considering doing more to crack down on drivers camping in the left lane on our major freeways. I'm KSL News Radio's Adam Small.
Second, a proposed $100 million nuclear training campus is being planned for Brigham City. Leaders are expecting to work out funding and other details in the coming months. Third, our biggest traffic trouble spot.
That's going to be I-215's West Belt, and it's due to heavy delays southbound on the West Belt that will start at about 2300 north, so shortly after Legacy Parkway. And you're not going to see better speeds until you're past I-80. It's due to a crash after 7th North, still blocking left lanes. Ricky Meese in the KSL Traffic Center.
Partly cloudy skies, hot temperatures, but that threat of a few little thunderstorms remain. I'm Kevin Eubank.
We're at 93 at the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Now, our top national stories.
This is a special report from ABC News. I'm Michelle Franzen. Fans are remembering Dolly Parton, the country music legend, songwriter, and philanthropist, died today. Ruth Fry says Dolly was one of a kind.
We've known her all our life, and we just loved her to death. She's a very sweet person, and she's going to be really missed.
Parton was known for dozens of hits, including the ballad Coat of Many Colors. Winning 11 Grammys for songs that crossed musical boundaries over decades and also paying forward her success. Nephew Brian Seaver.
Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believe that anything was possible.
Parton also went on to win the Hearts in Hollywood, using her name and fame to back charities and open Dollywood in the Smoky Mountains. Dolly Parton was 80. This is ABC News.
And in her memory, her family has asked for donations to her Imagination Library, which has sent more than 200 million free books to kids all over the world. The program recently partnered with Operation Literacy here in Utah. And joining us now live is CEO Jennifer Jenkins. And Jennifer, I imagine that before you began to benefit from her largesse, you knew her as a superstar. What are your early memories of Dolly Parton? Sounds like we have a hard time. We're not connected. We'll have to get back to this. In just a moment.
The more you listen to your kids, the closer you'll be. So we asked kids, what do you want your parents to hear?
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I would just want you to listen to me more often and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
We're not adults, so just be there and listen. I just want someone to yap to. And I just feel like I'll be fine, if someone just hears me talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk.
You're doing a really good job. And I don't think I tell you that enough. And I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us. But try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same.
Listening is a form of love. Find resources to help you support your kids and their emotional well-being at sounditouttogether.org. That's sounditouttogether.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and Pivotal.
KSL News Time 449. We're with the CEO of Operation Literacy, Jennifer Jenkins. Thanks for joining us. So you worked closely with Dolly Parton's Imagination Library, yes?
Yes, Operation Literacy has had the privilege to be one of the local partners that is working with the Dollywood Foundation to bring Dolly Parton's Imagination Library to Utah. We're actually working on a state partnership with, in collaboration with legislators, some incredible philanthropists across Utah to make this accessible to all kids in the state.
What did the partnership with Dolly Parton's organization look like?
So Dolly Parton has an incredible infrastructure where she will ship and deliver books once a month to families of children who need them. And to do this, she works in partnership with local organizations like Operation Literacy. So she matches funds that we raise to bring these books to Utah kids.
So what did her efforts mean to you here in Utah?
Do you know, Dolly is an icon. Dolly, I grew up with Dolly as somebody who I loved her music, and I was a huge fan. I think she was one of the most powerful, representations of femininity and philanthropy. But in my later years, my views of Dolly has changed quite a bit. She in many interviews later in her life, she will tell you that her greatest contribution to this world was not her music. It was her philanthropy. As you said before, she's donated hundreds of millions of books rather to children. Her father was illiterate. He never had learned to read, and she spent her life trying to help children in other circumstances be raised with books in the home because she didn't have that herself. And she saw that as a huge disadvantage. And just her philanthropy is incredible, and will live far beyond her. It's amazing.
CEO of Operation Literacy, Jennifer Jenkins, we appreciate you coming on my way to work this afternoon. I saw a billboard with Dolly Parton staring down at me. It said, "Find the good in everybody. Kindness. Pass it on." Emergency traffic here brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at UCCU.com. Here's Ricky Meese.
A little bit of good news. All lanes now open, but crews still on the scene of this crash. Southbound I-215's westbound after 7th North. You can get by, well, maybe they are partially blocking a left lane, but you do have more lanes open to travel, and so we're starting to see traffic move a little bit. However, it's not enough to clear the delay that stretches back to 2300 North, so it's still going to take a while for that. Northbound on I-15, southbound on I-15, we do have a crash approaching 2100 South near the I-80 201 junction, and it looks like it's starting